Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. We recently spoke with Mayor Paul Heroux about a recently proposed environmental ordinance that aims to reduce the use of harmful products. Here is the second part of our interview.
This proposal also included a ban on plastic nip bottles, and I would hope that the council would pass that and extend it to glass ones. Nip bottles are the small 50 milliliter or 60 milliliter bottles, typically something less than 100 milliliters. But these nip bottles are littered everywhere throughout the city. And unfortunately, one of the things that the council hearing focused on was the litter. But one of the things that we should still continue to be mindful of is that these plastic bottles are still using petrochemicals to produce them. They are also difficult to dispose of. They end up as litter. They're sometimes burned when they're thrown away or even put up for recycling. A lot of the opponents said that we should put a deposit on these things, and that would be the solution to everything. But a deposit isn't going to stop the littering. A deposit isn't going to stop the drinking and driving that goes on, and it's not going to stop the use of the petrochemicals that are used to produce these small bottles. So a deposit is not going to solve the multitude of problems that these nip bottles offer. So that was a pretty contentious issue that was discussed. The president of the Chelsea City Council called in to talk about the success they've had in Chelsea, and he very clearly stated that there wasn't all the doom and gloom that has been talked about by the opponents of this. The liquor stores adapt. The liquor stores, sometimes would claim that as much as 10 or 20 or 30, 40% of their business is in nips or these miniatures or these shot bottles. And, when people are saying that 10, 20, 30, 40% of their business is that, when I hear ranges like that, I typically think of the saying that 71% of statistics are all made up on the spot. And I find it hard to believe that, that passes a sniff test. I mean, 40% of a liquor store's business is alleged to be these nip bottles. I would find that very hard to believe. I think that, more likely what they mean is that possibly 40% of the people who come in to buy other things, 40% of those people maybe purchase one as they were checking out. That would make more sense, but not 40%. So I don't even believe a lot of the testimony that was offered by the liquor industry. And the only people who spoke out in opposition to this were members of the liquor industry. It wasn't regular citizens. Regular citizens were speaking in support of this because they were disgusted by the number of nips that they are littered all over the city, and the drinking and driving and the use of the petrochemicals to make these bottles. One of the criticisms that the liquor industry had is that banning nips would not be the way to go, because we should use education campaigns, or the liquor industry will participate in a citywide cleanup. And I find that very disingenuous. I think that the liquor industry knows that there is a lot of alcoholism and a lot of drinking and driving going on, and they have not done anything to address this problem, and they have also not done anything to address the litter problem. But now on the 11th hour, when we're talking about eliminating the distribution of these products in the city, they suddenly come around and say that they're going to participate and help encourage an education campaign. Let's just think about that for a second. People know not to drink and drive. People know not to litter. People litter these nip bottles when they're drinking and driving because it makes for a convenience, and it helps avoid detection because you've quickly disposed of the physical evidence, outside of your car window. So I find it very disingenuous, and I think it's wishful thinking to think that the liquor industry is going to come in and help out with some type of education campaign that is going to stop drinking and driving, or it's going to stop littering. That's just not the reality of the mindset of a lot of people who are doing this. So I don't buy the efforts that they propose that they would suddenly help out. I think that we have seen other cases where they're basically trying to say, oh, if we can implement this, then everything will be okay. It just doesn't work, and we know it doesn't work. Again, people know they're not supposed to litter. People know they're not supposed to drink and drive. And for the liquor industry to come in and say that they're going to, promote programs that decrease littering or decrease drinking and driving, the people who are doing this, they don't care. They know what they're doing, and they know they're doing is wrong. And I don't really have much sympathy for that.